Hello, my name is Skip Foster. I'm the owner of Refresh Water Store in Lake Worth, Texas. You're watching Saturday Morning at Refresh, and in this episode, I'm about to increase your productivity at work by a minimum of 12%. And you know what? It's using something you already have in your home. Stay tuned. Okay, in this episode, we are talking about workplace dehydration. One of the very interesting things that you will discover when you look at lack of productivity and the need for water in your life on a daily basis especially, is that even when you're sitting around, even in the wintertime, which is when we tend to drink the least amount of water. Usually it's in the summertime when we're sweating and we're out in the backyard and we're mowing the lawn or we're doing the garden or whatever it is we're doing. You know, if you're a construction worker or a roofer, we tend to think of those people as someone who needs more water. But today I want to cover the sedentary person, okay? The sedentary person basically needs 6 to 8 ounces of water an hour. Now, that doesn't mean 12 ounces every 2 hours. It doesn't mean 18 ounces every 3 hours. This literally means 6 to 8 ounces of water, which is a small little tiny bottle, every hour. In other words, you should be constantly sipping on water to hydrate. It doesn't do your body any good to just drink all of a sudden, one of those big 16-ounce bottles and chug it and call it good and say, well, I've hydrated. No, because you're going to urinate most of that out. It's going to pass right on through and not going to do your body much good at all as far as hydration is concerned. So you need to have something on your desk if you're a sedentary office worker, and 6 to 8 ounces of water every hour. You need to keep pumping it in, keep pushing it in, keep pushing it in. 1% dehydration. So figure your body weight times 16 to get your ounces. Find out what 1% is. Usually it's around 25, maybe to 30 ounces for a 180-pound male. Maybe it's a good strong 16 to 18 ounces for a female. That's a bottle of water, okay? 1% dehydration. In other words, if you could sit down and chug a bottle of water without any problems, meaning you were 1% dehydrated, you have a 12% reduction in reaction time and productivity. Now think about that. Only 1% dehydration. That's not very much at all. That is your ability to drink a bottle of water in just a few minutes' time because you were that thirsty. You are already at that point. You are at a 12% reduction in reaction time. That means you're producing 12% less on the computer, your think time. Your brain, which is actually your highest quantity thing in your body that has water in it, it starts to shrink. All right, it doesn't mean you get less smart, but the reaction time is definitely slower. So 12% reduction just because you're 1% dehydrated. Okay, now get this. At a 2% dehydration is where thirst begins. So if you're sitting there thinking, man, I'm thirsty, I could drink some water, you're already at 2%. Your body doesn't recognize thirst until you are at 2% dehydration, which means that you're already at the 12% reaction slow time. So let's look at 2%. 25% reduction in reaction time and productivity. 25%. When you are thirsty, you are operating only at 75% of your mental and creativity and physical capabilities. It is also an equivalent to a 0.08 alcohol blood level in reaction time. Obviously, you're not drunk when you're thirsty, but you are operating, your brain is operating at such a reduction in productivity that it is the equivalent in reaction time as a person who has a 0.08 alcohol blood level. That is quite astounding. What I wanted to bring out then in this episode is stay hydrated. Keep drinking water. Keep putting it in your system. And if your body needs water, obviously, I'm sitting here as the owner of Refresh Water Store saying, I think you need to be putting our water in your system. But just drink water. Grab something, get something into your system, and keep yourself hydrated. How do you know you're hydrated? The very first clue that you have to know you're hydrated is you're going to urinate a lot, which is, I think a lot of times we don't drink water because we think, well, if I drink all this water, I'm going to have to go to the bathroom a lot. Yes, you want to do that. You want to get those toxins and stuff out of your body. And when you pee, your pee is going to be clear or just barely yellow. And we're going to get into the coloration and stuff like that next week. So, drink water, stay hydrated, and be productive. And be more productive than the other guy because he's thirsty and you're not. And you're going to get the raise, and you're going to get the bonuses, and you're going to get the job done because you kept drinking water.